Happy Raw Day.
Happy Sunday. Happy day of the sun. Good afternoon, people of the sun, because we were all created in His image and in His likeness. So may I say, people of the sun, people of the sun. I used to say this all the time. Children of the sun. I used to say this all the time when I was younger.
Anyway,
Let us begin. So, the psalm that I'm reading today is Psalm 139 because it touched me, it moved my heart, and it was relevant to me. Psalms 139. I remember when I first came on here, there's my music. So when I first came on here, I was like, the whole title teacher, it wasn't like something that I really like aspired to. It wasn't something that I saw of myself. And then in time, I have just kind of melded into that role of giving people, I used to call it giving advice, but it is essentially teaching.
other people think
That, you know what, when you're going through spiritual attack, these are things that save your life. These are things that not just make your life better, they save your life. This kind of advice. And it's not just advice, it's telling people what to get ready for and what to look out for. And, you know, hopefully, not hopefully, I am very short in my heart that the advice that I have given to others has definitely saved them. I know that for sure. If not save them completely, maybe not save their life, even though I think my advice definitely has the potential to do that. And when I say my advice, I should really say my mother's messages, because these are her messages. I'm here doing her work, speaking on behalf of her. But I know these messages have saved people, and I know these messages have made things clear for people going through very confusing times. And today is no different. So Psalms 139, first of all, talks about loving God. It talks about being made in the image of God. And then it talks about, it says something very significant, which I want to touch on. So I'm going to get to it. O Lord, thou hast searched me and known me. Thou knowest my down sitting and mine uprising. Thou understandest my thoughts afar off. Thou compassest my path and my lying down, and art acquainted with all my ways. For there is not a word in my tongue, but lo, O Lord, thou knowest it altogether. Thou hast beset me behind and before, and laid thine hand upon me. Such knowledge is too wonderful for me. It is high. I cannot attain unto it. Whither shall I go from thy spirit? Or whither shall I flee from thy presence? It's basically saying, where can I go from your spirit, and where can I flee from your presence? If I ascend up into heaven, thou art there. If I make my bed in hell, behold, thou art there. And this is important to say because people think about God in a one-dimensional way, as in God only exists in one realm. No, God is everywhere. God is everywhere. God created hell. God created everything in hell. God created heaven. God is a creator. When there was nothing, God created everything. So that is important. I'm glad it is in the Bible that the Christians read so they can acknowledge it. God created everything. If I take the wings of the morning and dwell in the uttermost parts of the sea, even there shall thy hand lead me, and thy right hand shall hold me. We always talk about God using the right hand with us. If I say, surely the darkness shall cover me, even the night shall be light about me. Yea, the darkness hideth not from thee, and the night shineth as the day. The darkness and the light are both alike to thee. For thou hast possessed my reins, thou hast covered me in my mother's womb. I will praise thee, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are thy works, and that my soul knoweth right well. 15. My substance was not hid from thee when I was made in secret, and curiously wrought in the lowest parts of the earth. Let me read it again. My substance was not hid from thee when I was made in secret, and curiously wrought in the lowest parts of the earth. Wrought means to be made. Wrought, W-R-O-U-G-H-T. I'm even going to look it up again because I want to be sure. But I read this from another version of the Bible. What does it mean if something is wrought, worked into shape by artistry and effort, carefully wrought essays, elaborately embellished, ornated? What does the Bible mean by wrought? Wrought, worked, made. For yourselves know how ye ought to follow us. Okay, it's another verse here, giving an example. But wrought means to be made. So essentially what this is saying is, my substance was not hid from thee when I was made in secret, and curiously wrought in the lowest parts of the earth. Made in the lowest parts of the earth. This is Psalms 139, verse 15. Thine eyes did see my substance, yet being unperfect, and in thy book all my members were written, which in continuance were fashioned, when as yet there was none of them. How precious also are thy thoughts unto me, O God! How great is the sum of them! Give me a second. How precious also are thy thoughts unto me, O God! How great is the sum of them! If I should count them, they are more in number than the sand. When I awake, I am still with thee. Surely thou wilt slay the wicked, O God. Depart from me, therefore, ye bloody men. For they speak against thee wickedly, and thine enemies take thy name in vain. Do not I hate them, O Lord, that hate thee. And am I not grieved with those that rise up against thee? I hate them with perfect hatred. I count them mine enemies. Search me, O God, and know my heart. Try me and know my thoughts. And see if there be any wicked way in me, and lead me in the way everlasting. So, one of the things that we need to know, and this is relevant for whoever it's relevant for, it's just like tarot. You have to take what resonates and leave the rest. This is relevant for who it is relevant for. Those of us who come here in service of God, we were made, we were designed specifically for the role that we serve. We were designed specifically to come here lifetime after lifetime after lifetime to serve a very particular purpose for God. Perhaps the way that I've heard it with other people is other people reincarnate and they experience life and they learn lessons and they go on a journey. And for us, we come here for a specific task of the universe, for a specific purpose. The universe brings us here and we do the same thing every lifetime. We wake up and we are in service. And actually, we are in service before we wake up fully. To be honest with you, we are. We come here and we're in service right away. However, once we get fully in active service, it is different than before. And so, if you have gone through a spiritual awakening and it seems never ending, this is what today is talking about. Almost like a never-ending, what you would call persecution, but it's service. You're in service. So one thing it says here, it says, my substance was not hid from thee when I was made in secret and curiously wrought in the lowest parts of the earth. Not heaven, not on earth, in the lowest parts of the earth is where you were made. It also talks about, surely thou wilt slay the wicked, O God. Depart from me, therefore, ye bloody men. And it could be men or women. For they speak against God wickedly, and thine enemies take thy name in vain. Do not I hate them, O Lord, that hate thee? And am I not grieved with those that rise up against thee? I hate them with perfect hatred. I count them mine enemies. Whatever loves God genuinely, purely, and authentically, I love. And whatever does not love God, I do not love. And that's the truth. I am shocked by people who disrespect God. And of course I'm shocked because I don't disrespect God. But I am shocked by people who disrespect God. I am stunned, I am bewildered, I am puzzled. But I know that's because of how I feel about God. And I keep it that way. Now, let me talk about the ascension process that we all go through. Let me talk about anybody who is meant to watch me. I think your spirit will be naturally guided to maybe start from a particular point. And my messages tend to be a progression of everybody that comes and speaks. I realize it's a different thing. Like some people kind of give tarot messages and it's relevant to what's going on with people. And then there are others who channel, and mine just seems like I'm teaching, like it's progressive, like you just keep learning as you go. You keep learning as you go. So today is talking about, I have here completed ascension, but I don't think ascension is ever complete. I think there's always going to be layers of this. This is everlasting. This is just how you live from here on out. So I'm going to read this. The reason you shouldn't worry about making mistakes in the process of ascension is because that journey is about waking up and learning. During ascension, you will feel attacked, you will get personally targeted, and you will wonder why people have personal issues with you out of nowhere. Every time you face a successful attack, you recognize that it was only successful because God allowed it. This way, this may make you feel bitter, abandoned, and worst case for a few people, that God doesn't exist. There are people who, anytime something horrible happens, they think that it's because God doesn't exist. In fact, God is monitoring your suffering to ensure it doesn't go too far. God is bringing out your qualities like strength, patience, total trust, endurance, obedience, and these are only some of the qualities that God brings out, and your gifts like psychic abilities, heightened intuition, clairvoyance, and common sense. And I'm going to call common sense a spiritual superpower. We had to be under aggressive attack to learn, some of us, that witchcraft is real, because there are a lot of people who do not believe that witchcraft is real. To learn that the supernatural world is real, and to believe who you really are in the spirit. You had to undergo courses like cleansing, spiritual protection, self-assuredness, astral projection, the power to heal, and the power to curse, the power to protect, and the power to destroy, the power to scry, and the power to conceal or block access. To learn your strength and when to let God handle a situation. Attack by attack, little by little, course by course. You evolved and matured from a baby dragon to someone to be respected. Today, at the cusp of war, you stand confidently, or you stand in confidence, or what I call Godfidence, in whatever comes your way. We do not fear things like bindings. We do not fear demons. We do not fear curses. So how can we fear a coven? We wait patiently on the word and motion of our higher selves, who have experienced waking us up lifetime after lifetime, who created our energy in their image for their specific purpose, their instruments of war, transformation, growth, and rebalancing. How can you know when ascension is either complete or nearing completion? When you feel finally ease in battle. If you are made for war, then you are comfortable in war. You thrive in war. You experience warfare as others experience a day at the beach even. Just another day. Your higher self is not just one apparition with you alone. My higher self, a lot of our higher selves are God. Santa Muerte has manifestations globally, children everywhere at once. She is not just sitting with you, she is all over the home at once. She is even with her targets, not our targets, her targets. Those who she has manifested herself here to purge, so balance can be restored to the innocent. You are a more fully developed manifestation of your higher self at this time. You are a more mature, completed version of the God who crafted you in his or her image. We have been so sheltered for so long that ascension felt so chaotic. All your reactions, every single one, was normal and is how you always behave. This is what she says. This is how we always behave when we wake up. Mother is so relaxed because we do this every lifetime. And you'll notice that during your ascension, you're freaking out and she's really relaxed. This time around, you feel relaxed at the ringing of war bells because your transformation is nearing a completion. There's a completion that we've come to at this point. Your own job is to be a vessel. It is simply to exist. To wake up every day and just be. There is no need to plan. Mother's plan is already in place. Father's plan is already in place. No need to react. You understand better this time. No need to be frustrated. This is just the life path. You get used to it. You get used to it. They are not hunting you. Mother is searching for them. Mother is hunting them, really, because, too late they find this out. Your job is just to exist and take things one sweet day at a time. Relax and know that your God is good. And I have here also Happy Raw Day, but I said that at the beginning. Happy Raw Day. Raw Day, it feels like a holiday. No matter the weather outside, no matter what's going on, Raw Day feels like a holiday. When you find your place of non-resistance, meaning not pushing back against circumstances as they develop, meaning you're not pushing back on your growth, you are experiencing, or the lessons coming your way. You find ease as the work is completed in its own time, in its own way. Remember, you do not know these people. Only God knows these people and why. It is not even our concern. We simply need to exist to allow the universe her time to rebalance herself and to clear out the negative energy. Before I go to our suggestions, I just want to say, you initially start finding yourself to be the target of some very crazy things. These things can be all-encompassing things. They are crazy. Okay, the beginning of ascension, if ascension starts with something like gang stalking or something like, I heard somebody else's ascension was like a spiritual godmother that just did not let up on this person for years. That's how witches are. As you go through this journey, it is so hard in the beginning because it has to prepare you for this lifetime. Because you will keep encountering witch after witch after witch after witch. You will not keep encountering them by accident. You are placed on their path. You will be like, it's like they have a little radar and your body has a little, like something in it, and it will find them where they are. You will get up and you will find them, because it's not you driving the car, it's not you taking the train, it's not you walking, it's not you, it's your higher self says, today we gotta go meet such and such. And that's how it always is. You don't know them, but they ensnare you. They're gonna target you. They're gonna see you and you're gonna look like a juicy target. Mother calls this the lion and the deer. You are both the lion and the deer. And when they meet you, they see a deer. I call it the dragon and the sheep, like a little sheep dragon. When you walk around as a sheep, you're mutton, you look good, you look tasty. And then they find out later this is a dragon. You meet your mother, your father, your higher self, and you're like, oh my God, I'm gonna get barbecued here. I've been caught. And this is all you're supposed to do. You're not supposed to really overthink. You don't overthink it. You don't do much. When you learn everything that you learn in your first ascension, really that first ascension is to, I find a lot of it is to create comfort where there can easily be a lot of discomfort as they launch bombs your way, because they're going to be launching a lot of things your way. I'm just looking at my hair, it looks like little goat horns. They're going to be launching a lot of things your way, so this helps with the discomfort. Don't overthink it. God is going to just make you get up and do things. Don't overthink, anything that happens here. God is going to make things happen. Things are just going to happen as you try to avoid it. Do not beat yourself up. Why did this happen? Why me? I shouldn't have talked to this person. I shouldn't have done this. I shouldn't have done that. Hello, God lives in your heart. God is driving the bus. You get to enjoy the ride, but God is driving the bus. So this is how it works. You look at people who are possessed, and you are possessed by the Holy Spirit, by the very Holy Spirit, by a very strong energy. Okay, an energy that is not just a spirit. Let me tell you, there are deities, gods, they're small gods. We call them small gods. And they are small gods because they are simply a god. And then the big gods are more than just a god. Like God the Father is a creator. He creates life. God the Mother brings ending. She brings death. She brings transformation. That's another word for death. When things transform into something else, she brings transformation. And transformation and creation are processes. They're more than just, it's more than just a God. It is literally all of the energy of creation coming together into an apparition, coming together into an energy that can speak, that feels, a consciousness. Creation is a consciousness. Death is a consciousness. Time is also a consciousness. Karma is a consciousness. All of these things are consciousness, and they can inhabit human vessels as well. But they're too much for just one vessel. They inhabit multiple vessels at a time. So when you awaken, you understand, like, I am a consciousness. I am a manifestation of death, of transformation, of karma, of life, of love. I am a manifestation of creation walking around in a body that is my consciousness. And so that is the energy that drives your vessel. In the same way that some people seek out, it wasn't natural, they were not born that way, they seek out the consciousness of destruction, the consciousness of evil, of hatred, of lust, of all these manifestations of what we call demons. Because a demon is an energy, it's not necessarily like a person without a body. A demon is like an emotion. A demon is like a feeling. So a demon can be described as lust, envy, hatred, for no reason. You will find yourself everywhere you go. If there is a whole room of people, you're going to target that one. That one is going to be drawn to you. You're going to be drawn to them like magnets. And you guys are going to have a conversation, literally and figuratively. Maybe in the spirit, your higher self and their lower self is going to have a conversation. Now, the energies that work with us are not, this is not just like people think, like in Christianity, like God only exists in heaven, Ra only exists in heaven. No, Ra travels the underworld every single day. So these energies go to all places. There is nowhere you can hide from them. That's what Psalms 139 is about. There is nowhere to run from God. You go to hell, God is there. You go to the deepest part of the sea, God is there. You go to heaven, God is there. God knows all your thoughts. God sees everything inside of you. God will scan you. God knew you before you came here, before you were born, because God made you in God's secret place. Before God placed you in a womb, your earth mother, your earth parents are truly just custodians. We belong to God. God is the true mother and God is the true father. Our human parents, sometimes we cleave to them a lot, like almost like they're the real parents, and God is just the energetic parent, or God is just the biblical parent, and that is not the case. That is not the case at all. God is the true parent, the true creator. As you're going through this journey, I hope that we have found, all of us, ourselves, at least at a certain point of the journey, where we no longer feel dis-ease with however it has to go, because that is what you're here for. You are a vessel of transformation in people's lives. You are going to be doing multiple jobs at a time. Oh, what a waste of time for you to do one job at a time. It's going to be, that's why it feels so intense. Gang stalking feels intense. Gang stalking is like 50 to 100 people on you per day. And with that many people, that is that many people that spirit is needing per day, and it will be every day for a long, long, long time. That is the cleanup job that spirit's doing through you. I have since disassociated with things like the tarot readings and what's going on, only because sometimes it's interesting, sometimes it's monotonous. It really is monotonous. It's the same thing over and over. The tarot readings are simply setting the stage for the trap. That's all. Keeps people engaged. And it's not meant for you always. You graduate past things like that. It is there to create the stage. The reality is, there is no inheritance that can be stolen. This is a mirage. This is an illusion. This just gets people to move their hand. There is no whatever it is that people think that they're going to take from you. They're going to say, this is just so God needs them. So that they put the target on you, that they start attacking you. So God needs them. This is all. So they can start the work. You don't have to be aligned with the messaging of tarot. You don't have to be aligned with the messaging of tarot. You do not need to be aligned with any of the fighting, any of the chaos, because God is doing the work. That's it. Your higher self is simply doing the work of clearing people off, cleaning the board, purging the world of things that are horrible. People who have been targeted and destroyed by witches. These are, I guess, the witch hunts. I guess it's a witch hunt. Dark witches, though. People that deserve karma. People that deserve to meet karma. People that deserve to meet their transformation. Now, I'll tell you, God doesn't always eliminate people, as in physically eliminate them. Not at all. A lot of times, God leaves them alive. God leaves them there after they've learned the lesson. Hopefully, they have learned the lesson. There are some people who don't want to learn the lesson. They're forced. There are some people who continue to learn the same lesson, forced to, condemned, cursed to learn the same lesson over and over again. without coming to the realization of what happens. I want to let you know that growth is not necessarily incremental. It's not necessarily step by step. Sometimes you might wake up one day and have grown. Sometimes you just, from one second to the other second, you just wake up and you're like, whoa, I feel different. You're at ease. Now, you may have gone through a phase of gang stalking where people were physically after you, coupled with spell work, and you might go into, and I think a lot of us, the path involves going into a purely sort of spell work type arena where we are facing non-stop attacks and spell work, but it's not us. I want to tell you, it is not us necessarily. Once it comes to the point that people realize what happened, what they stepped into, and what they did, once that happens, it is God they're trying to attack. Because they say to themselves, well, why can I not get rid of this person? Why is all of this happening to me? All these backfires, all of this stuff, why is all of this happening? And they say, oh, it's the God in this person. And they start attacking the God in you, and they resent and hate the God in you. And this is why you have to take it like, not my fight. Not my fight. It takes a while, but you know, I'm going to say, relax into this. Even though I say it, I cannot make you feel relaxed just because I say it. It has to come naturally, and it will come in time. In time, you will feel relaxed. In time, you will feel at ease. In time, you will feel things just flow. And like I'm now currently saying, you just get used to it. You literally, it comes in waves. Okay, new cycle. Okay, we cleaned up this mess, next mess. Okay, we're done with this, next one. There's no point of all this anticipation and all this drama and all this extra flurry. The days are going to go by on their own. It's like in the cartoons where the calendar pages flip. What you are to anticipate on your journey, you are to anticipate the new attacks. You'll be like, wait, new things are happening. Because you graduated the level of the old things, you've learned those lessons, and you've integrated them now. And now new attacks are going to come. So this is almost in a way exciting, like you're experiencing new exciting things. Like, oh, they could do that. Oh, they could, let me tell you, first of all, in this first round, they could do everything. The beautiful part, it's almost like every new witch you encounter is like collecting tokens. You experience whatever their gifts were, whatever their particular talents were, you experience it. You transcend it, you learn it, you block it, you experience it. And in some cases you absorb it, you get it, you get that gift for yourself, and then you learn how to do it. It's not like reading a book and learning it, it's not like that. You just get it. You just get the gift. You just know how to do it. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that beautiful? That's such a talent. So, be confident and trusting in this journey. Don't let anything bother you. Don't let yourself be aggravated too much. You're human, so you're experiencing human emotions. If at a certain point in your journey when you hear, get ready, you'll be like, oh my God, again, we just finished this. And then you'll get to a point where you hear, get ready, and you're like, oh, again? And then there's times you just get ready. You don't know what you're getting ready for. You know you're getting ready for something. And you just walk through. You just flow through. And you get ready to experience new things spiritually. It might come in the form of an attack. It might come in the form of slander. It might come in the form of gang stalking. It might come in the form of all kinds of things. But whatever happens, anything that occurs, and sometimes something occurs and it's a catalyst for something bigger. It's a small thing, you meet one person and it turns into something huge. God knows that that's how it's going to go. God understands all of that. God knows what God's doing beyond us. We are just here to sit in place. So I have some suggestions for you on your journey. Now, depending on where you are in your journey, I just trust that the people who find my messages are either witches who are targeting me or people who need to learn, because my channel is debilitated for a reason. It is slow for a reason. Perhaps these are private messages. But either way, I'm going to give suggestions. Depending on where you are in your journey, these suggestions might not be easy to absorb. These suggestions might just roll your eyes. Oh my God, the amount of times I rolled my eyes when I got messages during Ascension, I was like, oh my God, there is no way. I was filled with so much emotion. Where I am right now, it's like, look, this is another day. This is another day. Another day, another witch. That's it. Another day, another spiritual attack. Another day, another binding. Another day, another curse. It's another day. That's all. That's all. It's just another day. That's how you gotta take it. God puts you in and out of these things. It's just what it is. First of all, so first tip, take raw day to make a beautiful meal for yourself and your altar. Life gets in the way some of the other days, but raw day, I find that they slow us down and they just, before Ascension, you'll decide you're gonna work on Sundays. Sunday is raw day. Now, Ra is not my chief guide, but he is one of them. And so, that means they have control. So, one thing they said was take Sunday and make a beautiful day, make a beautiful meal for yourself and your altar. Enjoy the day. Enjoy the day. Take a warm bath every once in a while. Not necessarily the same day every time, but every once in a while, take a warm bath. Buy yourself a spiritual bath, of course I'm talking about. Buy yourself some sort of a treat. It could be a favorite food, it could be something you love. Something hopefully inexpensive. I'm not saying break the bank every single time, but just give yourself a little bit of a treat. Sit back, even for 1 hour, you set aside for yourself to enjoy doing nothing. There are going to be days where things are going to be very busy. And so maybe at the end of your day, at the end of your prayer and your meditation, you might just want to take some time to scroll the internet, to watch a video, something that is personal and selfish to you. This is during your spiritual battles, because you don't know how long battles are going to take. Sometimes I find Spirit wants the battle slow on purpose. Slow, exaggerated. Because some of these people's victims suffered for a long time. It was an exaggerated time of abuse. So sometimes they want to take it slow. If they're taking it slow with the battle, that means you're sitting in that battle for a long time. Being that it's not your battle, go take care of yourself, do your thing. Don't take these things on as personal vendettas and issues with people. That was a mistake of my ascension, is I really took this on as like, I hate this person and blah, blah, blah. And of course, I don't love people who do not love God, but it's not that deep. And God makes you experience people, come into contact with them, and then you understand a lot more in your life. It will become harder to hate when you have understanding of something. So there's so much there going on with my first ascension experience. There was so much going on there. It's like, man, if someone's under possession and they're not in the right mind and this and that and they're under pressure and like, look, it's a lot going on. This is not a one layer of problems. This is every problem that there is to experience is being experienced at this time, at the same time. Dangerous situations and all this stuff. It is not for you to sit there and say, well, why this and why that? Somebody's having an experience with God and they're experiencing themselves, and that is what karma is. So because of this, they are going to lash out on you. They are going to project personal hatred towards you. But that does not necessarily mean that you need to meet back with it. See, the way I'm speaking now is as a result of an evolution in the ascension. I took that thing very personally because I was being personally attacked. Coming out of the ascension, I'm like, this is not personal. I don't know this person. I have nothing against this person, even with everything that has been done to me, with everything that I've gone through, with everything that has been done to me. Can I really truly sit here and say, oh my gosh, I hate this? Like, I don't really care. That's how it's gonna feel after you've been attacked that hard. It's like if you never see them again, you could never really care, because it was never yours to begin with.
That's the truth.
So
When the new waves
come in, you're not going to take it personally. Oh my God, it is what it is. Spend 1 to 2 hours, and you should be doing this anyway because Ascension will teach you that. Spend 1 to 2 hours every night and every morning contemplating, meditating, and enjoying spirit. We know what meditation is, but contemplation is different. Contemplating who your spirit is. When I say contemplating, sitting there and getting to know spirit in multiple different forms. It could be through, for me, I love the Bible, I read the Bible. It could be through the Bible. It could be through thought. It could be through rolling through memories, remembering things, remembering how things came to be. All kinds of things will teach you who spirit is. Contemplating spirit could bring you to tears very often because you're like, my goodness, spirit is amazing.
spirit is fascinating. So all kinds of things can
Bring you to tears, but this is a bonding experience with you and your spirit. One of the things that we talk about is when you say get to know yourself, who is the self that you're getting to know? If there is you, then who is the other self that you have to get to know that you don't yet know? And that is your higher self. That is your spirit. We call them spirit guides. We call them higher selves. We have multiple of them, some of us, not just one. Multiple spirits can inhabit one vessel. This vessel, I don't call it a vehicle. I call it an airport. They can come in and out, and you can expel some, you can block some, etc., etc. You know, however it goes. Enjoy spirit. People put spirituality out there as if spirituality is not enjoyable. Spirituality is an enjoyable experience. Prayer is enjoyable. Reading the Bible is enjoyable. It's fascinating. You get to know yourself. You get to debunk things. You get to understand things, and things make sense. It's beautiful when things make sense. Because you will say to yourself, I come back each lifetime. Why? How does this work? Because you were made like that. You were made, crafted. And the verse says, and I'm going to have to read it again. God brings you everything you need. You have to go searching for nothing. We bring it right to your doorstep. Each one of your members, meaning each one of your parts, were assembled before you knew that you were being put together, crafted specifically for the work that you do. God said, we need vessels. We need vessels. A few of them in every place so that we can take care of issues.
find preferred
Content from speakers your spirit enjoys. You don't have to actively do it. Spirit does not like what spirit doesn't like, and spirit likes what spirit likes. And spirit is going to find what spirit likes, and you'll feel it. So through you, I have here she, our Holy Mother, the Holy Spirit, Santa Muerte. She can have a human experience and experience what it's like loving herself, because she is both you and you are her. You belong to her, she belongs to you.
Through though we work,
Though we work, we steal so many beautiful moments just being human, and that's all it is. You come here to live the human experience, and they come here to do the work, and you guys have a marriage of what we would call human to spirit.
and from there you guys do.
Rest assured, you all, You are always on duty. You will think you're going for one thing, you will think you're doing one thing, you're doing 7 different things you didn't even know about. You are always on duty. So, in a metaphorical sense, grab an ice cream cone every once in a while, worry less and trust more. Worry less and it's not that worry won't come because you're human. It's just that worry doesn't come in the way that it used to come. Worry used to be like an ongoing thing, a panic attack. Now it's just like worry is just, it might be a fleeting thing because it's normal. Trust more. You are very trusting, but now you learn to trust more. Why? Because we've gone through it. So you see God work hook, line, and sinker. And you know the way of spirit, and you start seeing it, and you're like, damn, this is unavoidable. If you are on the receiving end of this, you know that you could have never anticipated what is happening here. You would have fallen into it just the same as everybody else. Finally, take pleasure in prayer. I never thought I could take pleasure in prayer. I used to think when I used to see other people, like older people in my family, take pleasure in prayer, I used to think, how can they take, like, that seems very boring to me. Like, what is that? Like, take pleasure in prayer. And anything that doesn't work shouldn't work. Everything that does work should work. And it is all working for your highest and greatest good. And finally, enjoy this journey. It sounds like a tall order if you look at it from a eye level perspective. It sounds like a tall order, like how can I enjoy being attacked? But really, just eliminate your discomfort and let God do the work. You don't know what God is doing out there in people's lives. You have no idea. You're in your house and people are going to say, this person is attacking me, projecting their energy into my house. This person is doing this and doing that, but that's your higher self roaming around doing whatever it is that it's going to do. And nobody can stop or block that. Who can stop the angel of death? Who can stop death herself? Who can intervene in what she wants to do? I pity the fool who would try. But there are always going to be people who will try. There are always going to be people who will try. Don't take this thing personally. When people personally start attacking you and trying to destroy you, just go through it the way you went through the first one, but with ease. It's going to happen anyway. You're going to wake up to things, you're going to go to sleep to things, you're going to realize things much too late and all that, and It's like, you just get used to it. You just prepare, and it is what it is, and you go through your journey. And I see that with wholehearted ease and wholehearted honesty. You literally just get used to it one day. So what used to feel like an attack just feels like a regular day, because there's really not any days that we go without attack. So you just get used to being under attack, and that's just how it is. Now that I've read the message, I'm going to read the psalm again, and we can see some of the relevance to what I've talked about. So Psalms 139. O Lord, thou hast searched me and known me. Thou knowest my down sitting and my uprising. Thou understandest my thoughts afar off, future thoughts. Thou compassest my path and my lying down. Compassest, think of a compass that gives direction. So essentially it's saying God gives direction to your path and you're laying down, and is acquainted with all your ways. For there is not a word in my tongue, but lo, O Lord, thou knowest it altogether. God already knows what you're going to say. Thou hast beset me behind and before, and laid thy hand upon me. God is behind you, in front of you, putting hands on you all the time. And that's something witches love doing too, is putting their hands on people. Such knowledge is too wonderful for me. It is high. I cannot attain unto it. The knowledge of knowing that God knows everything, it's like,
it's a comfort.
to be honest with you. Whither shall I go from thy spirit? Or whither shall I flee from thy presence? If I ascend up into heaven, thou art there. If I make my bed in hell, behold, thou art there. If I take the wings of the morning and dwell in the uttermost parts of the sea, even there shalt thou have thy hand lead me, and thy right hand shall hold me. Let me read it again. If I take the wings of the morning and dwell in the uttermost parts of the sea, even there shall thy hand lead me, and thy right hand shall hold me. God leads you and God holds you, not just in place but up. God holds you up, upright. If I say, surely the darkness shall cover me, even the night shall be light about me. Yea, the darkness hideth not from thee, but the night shineth as the day. The darkness and the light are both alike to thee. There is nothing hidden from God, is what it's saying. It's basically saying nothing is hidden from God, so much so that darkness and light look the same to God. Dark and light look the same to God. There is no difference. For thou hast possessed my reins. Think of the reins of a horse. When you're riding, God is riding you. And God has possessed the reins. Thou hast covered me in my mother's womb. You got put into the womb, covered into the womb, and walked through into the life you're living today. I will praise thee, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are thy works, and that my soul knoweth right well. My substance was not hid from thee when I was made in secret and curiously wrought in the lowest parts of the earth. Curiously ornated, made in the lowest parts of the earth. Thine eyes did see my substance, yet being unperfect, meaning not even finished. God saw your substance, and in thy book all my members were written. Every part of me was written in God's book,
which in continuance were fashioned,
when as yet there was none of them. God made you from thin air, is what that passage means. How precious also are thy thoughts unto me, O Lord. How great is the sum of them. If I should count them, they are more in number than the sand. When I awake, I am still with thee. Not when I am awake, when I awake, I am still with thee. Surely thou wilt slay the wicked, O God. Depart from me, therefore, ye bloody men, and brackets and women. For they speak against thee wickedly, and thine enemies take thy name in vain. Do not I hate them, O Lord, that hate thee? And am not I grieved with those that rise up against thee? I hate them with perfect hatred. I count them mine enemies. Search me, O God, and know my heart. Try me and know my thoughts. And see if there be any wicked way in me, and lead me in the way everlasting. And the way everlasting, the path everlasting, this is the path of righteousness. And you're asking God, whatever you see in me that I need to fix it on my behalf. So I'm going to say, God has done some fixing with me, and God has found a way, and God is a God of strategy all the time. God knows how to throw a tower in your way to make sure that you get back on the straight and narrow. And when God says we're going to practice ease, and I find that difficult, God makes it easy without chastising, without pushing, without beating down on, without doing any of that. I just wake up oh wow. But God is going to do the work through you either way because that is what you're here for. Either way, God is going to do work through you.
So
This was the message of the day. My messages are getting shorter and shorter. I want you to just take heart in your journey. Be patient with your journey. Know that God is working with you, through you. God is going to take care of you. And this is
God's battle. This is God's
fight. That's why everything is done God's way. So I would say be careful out there, but I think that people bothering God, people being targeted by God, might need to be the ones to be careful. It is a beautiful day. Happy Raw Day, and enjoy the rest of your day.